Hi, I am Ashley Moriarty, and I am doing an informative speech about the difficulties with breastfeeding. I wanted to inform others about the difficulties that can arise with breastfeeding when you exhaust all of your other options before you think about quitting. To some women, breastfeeding comes easy and natural, and then there's other women that have a difficult time breastfeeding, but with patience and determination and education it can be done. Time magazine says by the third day after delivering, over half of these women are worried about their baby's ability to latch on. While 44% were concerned about breastfeeding pain, the other 40% and their capacity to were worried about their capacity to produce enough milk to nourish their infants. I'm sure most of you know how hard it is when you first have a baby. There's so much changes. It is a big misconception that when you have a baby, you're going to have this sweet little bundle of joy and everything's going to go smooth. And sometimes that's not how it goes. Just like with anything, breastfeeding doesn't always go as planned. So personally, I tried with 3 kids to breastfeed 3 kids, and finally on the 4th kid, I was able to successfully breastfeed. Not because I don't think it would have worked out with the others, but because with my last child, I was bound and determined to make it happen. So I researched everything that I could do. I had a really hard time figuring out what I needed to do without a lot of help from the lactation consultants. So I had to search through a lot of internet resources and other outside sources to figure out what I could do besides what the lactation consultants told me to do. So after I researched every which way, I figured out what I needed to do to make things work. So to overcome difficulties with breastfeeding, such as pain and low milk supply, which are two of the main things that happen, there are many easy and natural supplements that can be used. So first, I'd like to talk to you about the pain. This is one of the main reasons women quit right away because it is so painful at first. Not only did you just have a baby, but you are really raw and your breasts are really sore from the baby feeding all the time. And then every time you feed, your uterus contracts, which sends horrible cramps through your stomach and back, which are due to help heal. That they're to help heal your body after you give birth. So what you need to do is use heat packs and not strain yourself, and make sure that you do take your pain medication as directed. And you have to listen. You do need to listen to your doctor and your body. So this includes that the dads need to help out and need to they need to help out. And this is what your wife's going through, so help her out as much as you can. And I know the fathers can get frustrated with breastfeeding, as they can't really do a whole lot, but there is support out there for them as well. Also, they make nipple balm that is probably one of your best friends at this point. You can use it as much as you like, and it is safe for your baby. Also, if you wear comfortable clothing, such as a loose shirt, they're easy. It's easy to breastfeed in, and you can also do a lot of skin to skin, which is where you don't really wear a shirt at all. So, and it's easy to do because you will be latching your baby a lot. Furthermore, another issue is low milk supply and how to bring your supply up quickly. That's what I'm going to talk about next. Low milk supply is a big deal. So what you can do is you can power pump or hand express. These are two things that are important if you're not making enough milk. The best way, power pumping is where you go, Lanosh.com says that you can power pump. You can get on the electric power pump and pump for 20 minutes, rest for 10, pump for 10, rest for 10, and then pump for another 10, and that should bring your supply up within like a couple days. Sometimes a couple hours, but the way this works is supply and demand. So the more you express, the more you make, the more that comes out of milk you make, and the more you take out, the more you're gonna make. So you want to get as much milk out as possible to make more. You can also use supplements like herbal and non-herbal. There's many ways. There are many supplements. You need to make sure you're drinking a lot of water also. That's a really important thing. The Academy of Breastfeeding Medicine has noted the need for research in galacticose. These are things that help bring your milk supply up. The Academy of Breastfeeding Medicine says there is a clear need for well-designed galacticose in population of women in which both the experimental and control groups receive modern, appropriate lactation support. A list of these common ones. There's also medications, which I'll start with those. Oxytocin, domperidone, monotopermin, and then also we'll go into some supplements, fenugreek, milk thistle, metoprogesterone, goat's root, beer, asparagus, shatavari, sativa, alfalfa, blessed thistle, and brewer's yeast. There's a lot of supplements that really help with that. You can also eat certain foods like oatmeal and Gatorade, and there's a whole list of them. And there's many websites that you can go to, such as like WIC, and WIC will help you with things like that. Therefore, when you're trying to power pump and take the galacticose, you must find which work for you and your baby, because sometimes they cause gas, and that makes it even worse for you and your baby. In conclusion, I would encourage anyone that's having difficulties with breastfeeding to have patience and take some time to look into what you can do to hang in there with the pain and find out what you can do to boost your milk supply. The pain doesn't last forever. It doesn't last that long either. But you can find out what works for you. So to help overcome, I would like to help women overcome the difficulties with breastfeeding, such as pain and milk or low milk supply. There's many easy and natural ways to do this. It is hard to have a baby, so take it easy and take care of yourself and use your help and wear comfy clothing. And for low milk supply, use your power pump and find which galacticose work for you. And I'm going to conclude this with when my son was 2 weeks old. A lactation consultant said that We probably weren't going to make it, but he's now 18 months old and he's still breastfeeding. So if it worked for me, I'm sure it can work for you.